Let's go ahead and turn the camera on. We have a Sony Action Camera here. Notice it blinking media. Something very strange happened today. I'm going to share the story with you. The camera was not working. And it's been a pretty good camera. But I had no idea what was going on, so I had to turn it off. And I'm going to show this to you exactly the way I experienced it. It's weird. And what can only be described as a scene right out of the movie Alien or Blade Runner. I never thought I would be filming this freaky new wave bioengineered life form in my Sony camera. Yes, believe it or not, in my Sony camera. How it got in here, I have no idea. We're probably talking about when it's sprayed in the sky and nano-sized microscopic dimensions. It's probably so small it can infiltrate every nook and cranny out there. I mean, no one is safe. Okay, here we are. You make up your own mind. The question is simple. What is it? The mystery is technology today. Now, this is what I found in my Sony camera. To me, this looks like some sort of new bioengineered critter, a worm. I mean, look at it. It's tiny. I didn't even want to touch it. But this is why my camera was not working. Like I said, for that worm to get in the camera and grow in there, I mean, imagine how small these critters are when they're sprayed by chemtrails or whatever. So I'm just going to show it to you. I'm going to go ahead and pick these worms up and put them in a bag and save them for future testing. I'm positive that this is not a worm that was created by God. That's what I am 100% sure of. It looks like it's a dead worm. Whatever it is, it looks like it's man-made. What are some of the words we can come up with? I mean, we have to come up with some kind of words here. I mean, is this like 6th generation Morgellons? Remember, we talk about this all the time. The laboratories are constantly coming up with the next generation of these bioengineered worms. But is this a new modified parasitic electronic life form that attacks digital technology? Imagine that they created a worm that can attack digital technology. Here it is. We're looking at a picture of it right here. Unbelievable. Genetically lab created cyber worm. I was flabbergasted. Like I said, I'll say it for the last time. I thought I was in some sort of scene right out of the movie Alien or the Blade Runner lab research. I mean, how in the hell did this sucker get into my camera? That's what really upsets me. I mean, we're talking nanotechnology here. It's so small that it can get into every nook and cranny. No one is safe. Here it is. What a bizarre story this is. I can tell you it's bizarro. You're going to have to make up your own mind. I'm not a scientist. And I do not have a high-powered microscope. So I can really, I will save these. I'll save these for future generations to look at. I mean, they're different colors. I mean, they're creating worms that are now different colors, and they somehow got into my Sony Action Camera. I'm not making this shit up. No, seriously. My camera would not work. I opened it up, and you're looking at the same thing I'm looking at. Scary, isn't it? Scary. Imagine, if you will, that these are in our body. No wonder people are freaking out. No wonder people have these new illnesses. They have no idea. Imagine that these nanotechnology, this dust that's dropped down upon us, it's so small that we breathe it in through our nose. They track us. Everywhere we go, they're tracking us. And then it grows. It's a genetically modified, bioengineered worm created in a lab that grows. It's alive. It's alive inside of us. You'd better go on the diet. You better go on the brown rice and bean diet and extract this stuff from, because if we're inhaling it, if it's in our food, if it's in our water, if it's in our cameras, it's everywhere. In every nook and cranny. Bioengineered worms, a new modified parasitic electronic life form that attacks digital technology genetically created in a lab. You are now experiencing Blade Runner. We're going to have testing materials to test everyone and everybody. Are you really a man? Are you really a true man created by God? Or have you been created in a laboratory? You make up your own mind. This is, like I said, it's freaky. Imagine, I don't know, you're at home and you open up something. Maybe you open up a can of beans or something and you see this critter. Well, you won't be the first. When you start finding these in your bedroom, in your kitchen, in your living room, in your food, in your water, in your camera, when you start finding this stuff out there, well, just know that you're not the first. We're all infected. We're all going down. Yes, I will save them. I will save them and we will send them to, but what laboratory? What laboratory is not infiltrated by the 666 gang? I mean, who could I send these to? The 666 gang has all the laboratories under their thumb. The 666 gang would just laugh at us. If I were to send these in for testing to any laboratory, the 666 gang would just destroy them and laugh at us. Cause another conspiracy nutcase. Look at this conspiracy nutcase. He thinks he's found some sort of bioengineered electronic worm in his camera. He's just lock him up. Lock him up. He's crazy. He's a crazy son of a bitch. Yes, he is. He's making this shit up. Ain't no bioengineered worms can get into his Sony camera. It's impossible. We're the 666 gang. We control the universe. We control Congress. We control the Senate. We control everything. Excuse me if I'm go off on the deep end here. I mean, when I find these critters in my camera, it's sort of, you know, it's more than troubling. It's freaky. There's nothing more I can say about it. It's just, I don't even want to touch the damn thing, seriously. We probably inhale them as in nano-sized form, you know, in microscopic size. We inhale them, but I mean, once they grow this big, I don't even want to touch it. I put it in the bag. Should I freeze it? I don't know. Anyhow, I just wanted to share this story with you. Weird, bizarre. You make up your own mind what it is. I already know what they're creating in the laboratories. I know these people. I know what's in their mind. I read them like a cheap novel. Yes. I can read these people like a cheap novel. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. But the good news, I'll leave you on a good note, that once I took these critters out of my camera, the camera started to work again, and the camera's back working again. So that's the good news. There it is. A little close up. The tools of the trade. Okay, so I went ahead and I popped the battery out, blew in there, and the chip, took the chip out. It didn't look like there was any long-lasting damage. So here we are. We'll turn it on and test it. After we took the worms out, we'll test it. And sure enough, it's working. I mean, I didn't actually test the camera to see if it's working properly, but the flashing media is gone. So once we took these critters out, look, the Sony Action Camera is back in action. That's the good news. The bad news, well, be careful out there.